They were introduced by a colleague who thought that they might make a good songwriting team, and they wrote a song called My Coloring Book, which became very, very well received. And why is the computer not moving? Here we go. And I
Nice
think
one.
you're going to be surprised by this one.
These are the eyes that watched him as he walked away. Color them gray. This is the heart that thought he would always be true. Color it blue. These are the arms that held him and touched him, then lost him somehow. Color them empty now. These are the beads I wore until she came between. Color them green. This is the room I sleep in and walk in and weep in and hide in that nobody sees. Color it lonely, please. This is the man, the one I depended upon. Color him gone. Color him
This was Kander and Ebb's first big hit, and Streisand certainly helped get it to the top of the pop charts. But the next thing they wrote was a musical together. It was a collaboration that started a very long relationship. And if any of us saw the Academy Awards, forget about the slap. But when Lady Gaga and Liza Minnelli were on at the end, it's tragic. You know, she had encephalitis of the brain, and she was almost paralyzed and thought that she'd never get to speak again. So tragic to see her life now. But the performer that she was certainly incredible, and they loved writing for her. She was 19 years old when they wrote Flora the Red Menace, and Flora the Red Menace was about a woman who wanted to unionize a garment center place, and it was, well, let's say this, it never really made it, and you can't even find a score of it today other than these two songs that I've been
When it all comes true, just the way you've planned, it's funny, but the bells don't ring. It's a quiet thing when you hold the world quiet thing. There are no exploding fireworks. Where's the roaring of the crowds? Maybe it's the strange new atmosphere way up here among the clouds. But I don't hear the drums, and I don't hear the band. The sounds, I'm told, such moments bring. Happiness comes in on tiptoe. Well, what do you know? It's a quiet thing, a very quiet thing. Happiness comes in on tiptoe. Well, what do you know? It's a quiet thing, a very quiet thing. Yes.
That was from Liza the, and then this was Liza actually on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Give me a hallelujah and get up and shout. Tell me the sun is shining around the corner. Whoever's interested in helping me out, please keep it up. I'm only in the market for loud laughter. I'll let you serenade me till dawn comes along. Just make it a happy, keep it a happy.
That was when she was 19 years old, and Kander and Ebb wrote this music just for her. Well, Cabaret came next, and believe it or not, it was originally envisioned for Liza Minnelli, but Hal Prince thought she was too good of a singer. He was directing this to be Sally Bowles because he didn't think Sally Bowles should be a good singer. And of course, when Cabaret opened on Broadway, the one comment that was made by most of the reviews was, why couldn't they have gotten a better singer to be Sally Bowles? So, of course, you never quite know. Well, Cabaret was an interesting construction of a musical. There was a master of ceremonies who commented on the scenery and the scenes that preceded it, while also at the same time creating a destructive force, driving the community, representing the metaphor and the leadership of Germany. It had never been done before, and it was considered striking and unusual. Today, it's considered a great
The scene, a 1929 Berlin cafe. And here with an international welcome to Cabaret is Joel Grey.
Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Frères, étrangers, strangers. Glücklich zu sehen, je suis enchanté. Happy to see you, bleibe, reste, stay. Monsieur, je suis votre compère. I am your host, and sage welcome and bienvenue. Welcome. Im cabaret, your cabaret, the cabaret. Leave your troubles outside. Sir, life is disappointing. Forget it. In here, life is beautiful. The girls are beautiful. Even the orchestra is beautiful. Each and every one a virgin. You don't believe me? Well, do not take my word for it. Go ahead, ask her. Outside, it is winter, but here it is so hot. Every night we have the battle to keep the girls from taking off all their clothing. So don't go away. Who knows? Tonight we may lose the battle. And now to serve you. Oh, shut me down. Happy to see you. Will I the last to
It's hard to imagine now, but 50 years ago, that was a startling number, and people just didn't know what to make of cabaret at all. But cabaret's been revived multiple times. The 1998 revival rewrote the book, and Kander and Ebb had added songs from the movie that they had rewritten. But this is, again, the older couple, the woman who runs the boarding house, and and the Jewish man who becomes a resident there, and what happens.
There is an amazing revival of cabaret on Broadway. Here to sing one of my favorite numbers, It Couldn't Please Me More, as I like to call it, the Pineapple Song, are two amazingly talented Broadway veterans, Mary Louise Wilson and Ron Rifkin.
Fräulein Schneider, I have brought you a little something from the shop. Another little something.
Yeah?
Herr Schultz, can I believe what I see? But this is too much to accept. It's so rare, so costly, so luxurious. If you brought me diamonds, if you brought me pearls, if you brought me roses like some other gents might bring to other girls, it couldn't please me more than the gift I see. A pineapple for me.
If in your emotion you began to sway, when to get some air or grab the chair to keep from fainting dead away, it couldn't please me more than to see you cling to the pineapple I bring.
I can hear Hawaiian breezes blow.
It's from California.
Even so, how am I to thank you?
Kindly let it pass.
Would you like a slice?
That might be nice, but frankly, it would give me gas.
Then we should leave it here, not to eat but see.
A pineapple
for me.
from me.
But you must not bring me any more pineapples, do you hear? It is not proper. It is a gift a young man will bring to his lady love. It makes me blush.
But there is no one in all of Berlin who's more deserving. If I could, I would fill your entire room with pineapples. A pineapple for you.
I think I will lie down for a few moments.
My head is spinning.
Fräulein Schneider, good evening.
Good evening, Herr Schultz. I am overwhelmed.
And then, of course, from the movie, Kander and Ebb enhanced the score and wrote a few new songs that really changed the tone of everything in Cabaret, made it far darker. One note about the costume, Gwen Verdon, who was married to Bob Fosse, and he was directing this, they couldn't find a costume that any of them liked for the character Sally Bowles. So Gwen Verdon started looking through vintage clothing stores, and she found the item that Liza Minnelli is actually wearing.
Meine Damen und Herren, Mesdames et Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen. What now?
Club.
Is proud to present.
Very beautiful young lady. She's so beautiful. So talent. So
Charming. I have only yesterday said, I want you for my wife. And she said, your
wife? What would she want with me?
She want with me. I give you that international sensation, Fräulein Sally Bowles.
You have to understand the way I am, mein Herr. A tiger is a tiger, not a lamb, mein Herr. You'll never turn the vinegar to jam, mein Herr. So I do what I do. When I'm through, then I'm through. And I'm through. Toodaloo. Bye, mein lieber Herr. Farewell, mein lieber Herr. I need the open air. You're better off without me, mine hair. Don't dab your eye, mine hair, or wonder why mine hair. I've always said that I was a rover. You mustn't knit your brow. You should have known by now. You've every cause to doubt me, mine hair. The continent of Europe is so wide, mine hair. Not only up and down, but side to side, mine hair. I couldn't ever cross it if I'd tried, mine hair. But I do what I can, inch by inch, step by step, mile by mile, man by man. Bye, mein lieber Herr. Farewell, my lieber Herr. It was a fine affair, but now it's over. And though I used to care, I need the open air. You're better off without me, mine hair. Don't dab your eye, mine hair, or wonder why mine hair. I've always said that I was a rover. You mustn't knit your brow. You should have known by now. You'd every cause to doubt me, mine hair. Bye bye, mein lieber Herr. Auf Wiedersehen, mein Herr. Es war sehr gut, mein Herr, und vorbei. Du kennst mich wohl, mein Herr. Ach, lebe wohl, mein Herr. Du sollst mich nie mehr sehen, mein Herr. Bye bye, mein lieber Herr. Mich wohl, mein Herr. And bye bye, bye bye, mein lieber Herr. Farewell, mein lieber Herr. It was a fine affair, but now it's over. And though I used to care, I need the open air. You're better off without me. You're better without me.
It's hard to believe it's a 50-year-old movie, and Liza Minnelli was, by this point in time, in her mid-20s. She's in her late 70s today, so you get a sense.
Money. Money makes the world go around, the world go around, the world go around. Money makes the world go around, it makes the world go round. A mark, a yen, a buck, or a pound, a mark, a yen, a buck, or a pound is all that makes the world go around. That clinking, clanking sound can make the world go round. Money, 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 money. If you happen to be rich and you feel like a nice entertainment, you can pay for a gay escapade. If you happen to be rich and alone and you need a companion, you can ring ting-a-ling for some mate. If you happen to be rich and you find you are left by your lover and you moan and you go and fight a lot, you can take it on the chin, call a cab and begin to recover on your 14-car yacht. What? Money makes the world go round, the world go round, the world go round. Money makes us go round, of that we both are sure on being poor. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, money, money. Money, 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 money.
When you haven't any coal in your stove and you freeze in the winter and you curse to the wind at your face. When you haven't any shoes on your feet, your coat's thin as paper and you look 30 pounds underweight. When you go to get a word of advice from the fat little pastor, he will tell you to love evermore. But when hunger comes to rap, rat-a-tat at the window.
At the window.
Who's there?
Hunger.
Oh, hunger. See how love flies out the door. Money makes the world go round, the world go round, the world. Money makes the world go round, the clinking, clanking sound of money, 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 money. Get a little money, 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 money. Mark a yen, a buck or a pound. That clinking, clanking, clunking sound is all that makes the world go round. It makes the world go round.
Well, Cabaret in 1996, 97, 98, this revival played for 8 years, 7 years longer than the original Cabaret. It had a whole different interpretation to it. It was terribly, terribly frightening in terms of how the Nazis overcame a country. And it also was set as if it was in a cabaret, done by the Donmar Warehouse, and people who were journeying to London with me at the end of the month are actually going to attend a performance of the Donmar.
Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Fremder, étranger, stranger. Glücklich.
And by the way, this is Alan Cumming.
Je suis enchanté. Happy to see you. Bleibe, reste, stay. Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Im Cabaret, au Cabaret, du Cabaret. Meine Damen und Herren, Mesdames et Messieurs, Ladies and Gentlemen. Guten Abend, bonsoir, good evening. Wie geht's? Comment ça va? Do you feel good? I bet you do. Ich bin euer Konferencier, je suis votre compère. I am your host. Und sage willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Im Cabaret, au Cabaret, du Cabaret. Leave your troubles outside. So, life is disappointing. Forget it. We have no troubles here. Here, life is beautiful. The girls are beautiful. Even the orchestra is beautiful. Because of her cheeks. See? Lulu. She's a tiger. Frenchie. She loves to polish. And Texas. You like Texas? Well, too bad. Because Texas likes girls. Rosie, Lolo, Frenchie, and Texas. Each and every one a virgin. You don't believe me? Don't take my word for it. Go ahead. Try her. Outside it is winter, but in here it's so hot. Woo! Every night we have to battle with the girls to keep them from taking off all of their clothings. So don't go away. Who knows? Tonight we may lose the battle. Enchanté, madame. Hello. You, bleibe, reste, stay. Wir sagen, willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Fremder, étranger, stranger. Glücklich zu sehen, je suis enchanté. Happy to see you, bleibe, reste, stay.
Again, not a word was changed, but Kander and Ebb endorsed this very unusual rewrite of Company. The Happy Time came next. This was directed by Gower Champion, and they wrote a great score, not a great success, mind you, but a great score that was overwhelmed by a brand new style of photography and screen presentation called IMAX. In fact, Gower Champion became so enthralled with it that he overused it to the point where it overshadowed the production. And The Happy Time with Robert Goulet has the great credential of being the first musical to lose $1 million.
The current musical, The Happy Time, is a fascinating mixture of theater, music, and screen. It is a tender, funny story of a marvelous family. Starring Robert Goulet and David Wayne, with Mike Rupert, The Happy Time.
You know, it's a very strange thing, huh? But the memory plays tricks. You see, every time I take a picture of this rose, it reminds me of something else. Something, another place, somebody long ago. Home, maybe, huh? But where is home? Perhaps home is only in my memory, the memory of a small town in French Canada, Saint-Pierre. Ah, what a pleasant place, what a happy time. Hey, come back with me, huh? Would you mind? Yes, come back with me. And remember a Christmas morning long ago. The frosted glass, the dancing snow, the happy time. Remember the painted horse, the carousel, the chocolate kiss, the caramel, the happy time. Remember a pale pink sky, your first Easter hat. And if you should ask me why, the reason I ask you this is that I want to remember you, remembering the happy time. Yes, come back with me, Remember the day you found the dollar bill, or roller skating down the hill, the happy time. Remember the compliment you once received, the lie you told, they all believed, the happy time. Remember a long, deep sigh, a tentative kiss. And if you should ask me why, the reason I ask you that is this: I want to remember you, remembering the happy time. Here he is, That's my father. He calls me his idiot boy. Why the idiot? What do you call a boy who runs away from home at the age of 16 to become a photographer, huh? An idiot. And this is my godson. This is my brother's boy. Yes. I taught him how to fly a kite, how to play poker at the age of 4, important things like that, you know. And when you look at him, he's grown a foot since the last time I saw him. Bibi, we must go home because Grand-Père is very angry. Someone has ruined the pictures of his naked ladies.
Look at my pictures, eh? Torn, dirty. What has happened to them? Look at this one. What are all these little pinholes?
Oh, the boys at school were throwing darts at her.
Quel sacrilege. Someone had a very good aim.
Well, you're very lucky, Papa. You've got so many beautiful ladies. Not one of them gives you any trouble, huh?
Yes, you know why I have so many girls? Is because I do not have one. A long time ago, I had one girl, and I married her. Only one. And I did not need any of these. How many girls have you, Bibi?
Well, there's 2 or 3.
And you? How many girls have you?
I've got 1,000 of them, Papa.
1,000, eh? 1,000 girls are not so many as one, as you will find out one day. A certain girl, some certain girl, he's bound to happen come along one wonderful day. You'll see her smile, a certain smile, and that will tickle you so, make you go around in the dopiest way, though you were free and happy to be. She'll come along, swishing her skirt, walking a certain walk.
A certain walk, some certain girl, and from that moment on you're totally through. There's nothing you can possibly do but spend your lifetime wooing a certain wonderful day.
See her smile, certain smile,
and from that moment on you'll fly like a dove. There's nothing you're incapable of, because you're living, loving a certain. You're living, loving a certain. Because you're living, loving a certain
Well, you know, this is when Robert Goulet was at the top of his career. He was a tremendous asset, but it didn't help. Well, the next musical they did fared no better. But there's one classic song that's often performed in Broadway concerts, and you're going to see this one performed by Mandy Patinkin. And it was the idea of a group of people who live in a senior actors' home who want to stage a comeback. It never did well, and it's quite a shame.
Hey, give me a cup of coffee. Come on, lady, get me out of here. Will you get me out of here? You drive me crazy. Lady, come on. The trouble with the world today, it seems to me, is coffee in a cardboard cup. The trouble with the affluent society is coffee in a cardboard cup. No one's ever casual or nonchalant. No one wastes a minute in a restaurant.
No one wants a waitress passing pleasantries like, hiya, miss. Hiya, sir. May I take your order, please? The trouble with the world today, it's plain to see, is everything is a hurry. It's rush it through and don't be slow, and a BLT on the right of going. Coffee! I think she said coffee. I know she said coffee. In a cardboard cup. Get me out of here! The trouble with the helter-skelter life, really, thank you, is coffee in a cardboard. God bless you! The trouble the psychologists have all agreed is coffee in a cardboard cup. Tell me what could possibly be drearier than see what from the Belleville cafeteria. Seems to me a gentleman would much prefer an afternoon. I have been. Would you like the special for the trouble with the world today? It's plain to see, is everything is a hurry. It's ready, weapon, instant tea, and minute rice and Ohio meat. It's coffee. I think she said coffee. I know she said coffee. And a cardboard cup. Hurry up.
A great song, but from a show that just didn't do well. Now, Chicago, no one anticipated what Chicago would be. Of course, Bob Fosse having a heart attack delayed the opening of Chicago. It had mixed reviews. It was truly Fosse and Chita. I'm sorry, it was Verdon and Chita Rivera who drove this to get a success. It ran for about 2.5 years. But, truthfully, it soon became a forgotten musical, a chorus line truly overshadowing it in its day. No one understood the cynicism of it. No one believed that the juries could be manipulated by the press until after the O.J. Simpson trial. And since 1996, when Chicago re-entered the Broadway scene, it's been running ever since. The longest running American musical ever. And again, Chita Rivera, Jory Auerbach, Gwen Verdon, it was an original of its time, and today it's considered one of the great cynical masterpieces. The score, written by Kander and Ebb, truly exceptional. It really showed what clever cynicism can truly do. The end, what we're about to see next was the ending to Chicago. And Gwen Verdon bitterly fought this because everyone thought it should be a solo for Roxy Hart. Well, Bob Fosse knew better, and it really did need to be a duet between these two women who the story is primarily about. And even Kander and Ebb were not happy with Bob Fosse's decision, but he knew what was best.
For another, it's the reasons why they're packing him in at the 46th Street Theater. Here are Chita Rivera and Gwen Verdon. Welcome them, please.
It's good, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it nowadays? You can light the life you're living. You can live the life you like. You can even marry Harry, but mess around with Ike, and that's good. Isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it? But nothing stays. In 50 years or so, it's gonna change, you know. But oh, it's heaven nowadays. But oh, it's heaven nowadays.
Pick up the pace. Let's shake the blues away. Let's make the parties longer. Let's make the skirts shorter and shorter. Let's make the music hotter. And let's all go to hell in a fast car and keep it hot. Hey!
Gwen Verdon, Cheetah Rivera. Now Lindy, we'll be right back.
Fascinating, isn't it? Meanwhile,
The first musical to open in New York in the year 1975 was Chicago. Kander and Ebb's musical adaptation of the 1926 tale of Roxy Hart. Roxy and her friend Velma form an act, and the combined performances of Cheetah Rivera and Gwen Verdon made one of the most memorable nights in the theater. Go, girl.
Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? And all that jazz, I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down. And all that jazz, start the car. I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz.
Oh, you're gonna see your Sheila shimmy shake.
And all that jazz.
And all that jazz.
It's good, isn't it? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it? Nowadays, there's men everywhere, jazz everywhere, booze everywhere, life everywhere, joy everywhere. Nowadays, you can like the life you're living. You can live the life you like. You can even marry Harry, but mess around with Ike. And that's good, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it? But nothing stays,
them do that. Gwen Verdon and Cheetah Rivera were really...
Tonight, we're going to bring you some
It's
tantalizing parts from each of the musicals who've been selected as the best of the season. You've already seen the opening from A Chorus Line, and now another nominee, Chicago. Big and brassy, this is a biting and cynical musical version of a 1920s murder trial in Chicago, in the windy city of Chicago. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present the silver-tongued prince of the courtroom, the one and only Billy Flynn.
We want Billy. Where is Billy? Give us Billy. We want Billy. B-I-double-L-Y. We're all his. He's our kind of our guy. And ooh, what luck, 'cause here he is.
Is everybody here? Is everybody ready? I don't care about expensive things, cashmere coats, diamond rings don't mean a thing. All I care about is love. That's what I'm here for. I don't care for wearing silk cravats, ruby studs, satin spats don't mean a thing. All I care about is love. Give me two eyes of blue, softly saying, I need you. Let me see her standing there, and honest mister, I'm a millionaire. I don't care for any fine attire Vanderbilt might admire. No, no, not me. All I care about is love.
All he cares about is love.
Now, maybe you think I'm talking about physical love. Well, I'm not. Not just physical love. There's other kinds of love, like love of justice, love of legal procedure, love of lending a hand to someone who really needs you, love of your fellow man. Those kinds of love are what I'm talking about. And physical love ain't so bad either. It may sound odd, but all I care about is love.
That's what he's here for.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-boo-boo-boo. Ba-ba-ba-ba-boo-boo-boo. Honest to God, all I care about is love. Show me long, long raven hair flowing down about to there. When I see her running free, keep your money, that's enough for me. I don't care for driving Packard cars or smoking long butt cigars. No, no, not me. All I care about is doing the guy in who's picking on you, twisting the wrist that's turning the screw. All I care about is
great Jerry Orbach, who was, truthfully at the time, the most used Broadway leading man because of his great style. This, then, is 20 years later.
Billy Flynn's the name, Chicago's the game. It's the razzle-dazzle 20s, and I'm a lawyer. But I'm not the only criminal in the show. My prize clients are a pair of devious dames who go by the names of Velma Kelly and Roxy Hart. And, uh-oh, here they come now. So, hey, be careful. Watch your back and, you know, all that jazz.
Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? And all that jazz, I'm gonna lose my knees and roll my stockings down. And all that jazz, start the car, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold, but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. You do. And all that jazz. Gotcha. Whoopee. And all that jazz. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that.
Music that was literally forgotten for 20 years suddenly became part of the American culture.
And all that jazz. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz.
Well, we'll end here today, and then we'll pick up with where Liza Minnelli starts to become the muse, sort of, for Kander and Ebb. I don't know if anybody has any questions for me. I'm going to allow you all to unmute, so you all can ask me anything you might want to. I'm always happy to answer questions. Anybody have anything for me today? I see a chat comment. I just want to look at that. The question, Gary, thanks for asking that. Bob Fosse's choreography was totally the inspiration, and Anne Reinking was Bob Fosse's mistress. And when they did the revival of Cabaret, and Anne Reinking was going to direct, Anne Reinking went to Gwen Verdon. If you can imagine, the mistress and the wife were best friends. She went to Gwen Verdon, and they recaptured all of the Fosse choreography. There is a choreographic shorthand that's done by a choreographer so that the choreography can be preserved. But in the case of Chicago, yes, it is the adapted original choreography of Bob Fosse. When we say adapted, it had to be adapted to the size of the stage and the new set and so forth. But it is the Fosse choreography, absolutely. Great question. Thank you for asking that. Anybody have anything else you'd like to know? And B.B. Newworth B.B. Newworth and Anne Reinking were the original Roxy and Velma in the revival. So yes, it was both of them, and that's great. And the person dancing with B.B. Newworth was Anne Reinking. Anybody have anything else for me this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard somebody ask me something. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
If you had to rank them, and you probably don't want to do that, versus the other great pairs of pairs of people who have written so much for the theater, where would you put them? Because somehow their name doesn't.
Okay, well, the top three are the Gershwins, Rodgers and Hammerstein, and Sondheim. So after that, they might come right after Sondheim, and then Bach and Harnick might come right after them. Jerry Herman might come in there next. Lin-Manuel Miranda's only written 2 Broadway scores, but he'd certainly be up there. Lerner and Lowe only had one successful musical. That was My Fair Lady. Camelot's about to be rewritten. The script is about to be rewritten and revived next year, so I'm sure we'll all go to see that. It'll be a great curiosity for me to see. Aaron Sorkin is going to rewrite the script, and it's going to be directed by Bart Lasher, and they work together on To Kill a Mockingbird, so I'm sure that's going to be very, very interesting when that happens. So they're up there. Anybody have anything? Good question. Anybody have anything else you'd like to know? Well, it was great. See you all next Friday as usual, and happy always to see everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.